Hello everyone and welcome to LCI Draft. Uh, this time the pack 1 has a rare that is a pretty hit or miss. This can do some work in a kind of a board state which has bunch of creatures, maybe some treasure or map tokens also, but then again in the kind of a tight game where creatures mostly trade, you don't have time to move this around. Yeah, I don't like this too much. I think out of this pack, I'm going to take the Chupacabra Echo. It is just the best card, and it's quite easy to. I mean, assuming black will be open, and I will stick to black here, I will have ways to have a reasonable number of permanent cards in my graveyard to make the ability to do something. I will focus on ways to do that, picking cards like Another Chance. I think this is just the strongest card in the pack, and that's of course usually what you should go with in a pack 1 pick 1 situations, unless you really want to avoid black. And yes, I knew that the black commons in this set, they are a little weak as an average value. The commons from black are probably the worst of all the colors, but when you have these good uncommons, it's definitely or maybe even some rares, it's a color worth drafting in that case. Here this uncommon unfortunately isn't very good. It's too much to make the 4/3 flyer 7 mana, and the +1/+1 counter is not that easy to come by. And this is just a 2 mana, thing. You have to tap out this. I mean, not tap out, but use 2 mana and a card to maybe get some +1/+1 counters. It's not worth a card when it's so unreliable. It's different for the cards that say that at the beginning of combat put a +1/+1 counter on your creature. Anyway, I'll take this Bartolome. It works with the Chupacabra. I could take the It's Queen this, but I think the Bartolome is really good, and I don't mind being black-white. Well, I guess this thing is a vampire. This gets vampire back. Black and white is the color combination for vampires. There are white vampires, there are black vampires. And this is a fairly big pack also. I mean, I'll just take this and move on. I don't think there's really... I mean, the cards in that pack are not very good. Here, though, I'm definitely not sticking to like black and white here, because I have only the Bartolome as my only white card, and the Akawali is really good. And the Queen's Bay Paladin is not so great in a green-black deck, but it's still, worth picking this, because if green and black will be open, I will be very sad if I missed out on this. The other options would be the Snail or the Envoy. I think I would take the Snail over it. Yeah, let's take this one. And okay, the white cards are not too amazing here. The pop can do some nice synergy. Sometimes you can just have a sort of a 2-for-1 when the opponent tries to use a removal spell on your creature, which you are able to save. And you will be able to save it, but of course you have to recast it, so it costs some tempo anyway. But it's not always gonna even work like that. Sometimes it's just a 3/1 with flash. Now that I have the Akawali here and the Echo, I think the Mine Shaft Spider is the card. I could take the Deep Goblin Skulltaker, but I think I get these things later on. If I want to be black-green Descent, the Spider is a very good, decent card in that archetype, so let's take that. Glimpse the Core. Okay, there's a Glorifier of Suffering. It is a vampire which I can bring back with the Queen's Bay Paladin. Also, black and white is the color combination that does this sacrifice shenanigans. The Mats Lantley. Well, I don't like it too much. It's a 3-mana looter, which, gets you decent stuff. I don't like the transforming thing. It's hard to transform, and then the core isn't even that good. So I'd rather maybe stay open to both directions. I know there's also the Glimpse the Core, by the way. I could take that if I'm sticking to white, black and green. I mean, actually, no, I'll take the Glorifier. I think Glorifier is more important if I end up black and white. And I don't know. I think I will be black. But whether it's gonna be paired with black, white or green is unclear right now. Here is an easy pick. Echo of Dusk, also a vampire for this. This is also a vampire, but this is the better pick. Sunfire Torch is here still, but this is an easy choice. Echo will be going to both white, black, and green, black. Well, this is a disappointing pack for sure. I guess I'll take the Boulder like as a sideboard card. Another spider. Ha! Well, this is an interesting one because I could take a green or a white card. I have now 3 targets for the paladin, so I'm kind of leaning towards the white after all. And I could take the drought, which is nice with the glorifier and the Bartolome. Okay, I'm gonna lean towards black and white right now. I could take the hidden courtyard, I could take the spider. Okay, yeah, okay, let's take this. And black and white, maybe. I'll take the acolyte. I usually end up not playing it, but I guess I can play it because it's a way to sacrifice things. This just seems a bad card. Paying 3 to move this around is nasty, and you don't always have a card to discard. +2/+1 is not worth it. I'll take the Fungal Fortitude instead. Nothing for me, but I suppose there's like a small chance I end up black-blue, and both the Cave Worm and the Sage of Days would work there. I think I like the Cave Worm more, but it's unlikely that that will be my color combination. The Skull Taker can be picked now, and stuff. I guess this is a playable 2-drop. Well, I'm not taking the Inti. It is a good 2-drop, but it's not a reason to try to move to red. Waterwind Scout is the best blue card out of this bunch, but it's not a reason to move to blue because there are basically 2 options. I would say that the Deep Cavern Bat and the Clay Fired Bricks are the options. Now, this is also a nice sacrifice for the sometimes you don't have the opportunity to go to 7 mana to craft. So I like it in the black-white deck a lot, but then again the Deep Cavern Bat can be just a very nice harassing play early in the game, gaining some life. I'll take that. Also, there's a chance I still will be green instead of white, and the bat will be played regardless. Okay, Zodiac Cliff. Well, I think in this draft I'm not taking a Zodiac Cliff. But there are still 2 very nice options. The Market Gnome, excuse me, and the Visage of Dread. Now, I guess I could take the Visage because I don't really have a clear indication. Then again, my white stuff is better and the Queen's Bay Paladin works with the white stuff better. I have only 2 green cards. This is actually a difficult choice because this is a really nice one with the sacrifice stuff. Now this is 2. Okay, let's take the Hand Hate, but it could be the Gnome as well. Well, here I'm gonna take another Echo in here. There are nice options here. Well, first I see there's not really anything green, but Tithing Blade, Sunscribe, Fanatical Offering cards I'm happy to have, but of course here it's gonna be the Echo number 2, Bitter Triumph, Get Lost, and the Spring-Loaded Saw Blades, Tinker's Toad, Drought, the Gem God is, not bad. It is gonna be the Bitter Triumph here, but this pack has a lot of options for me. And Tinker's Toad is better than the other stuff, so I'm gonna take that, and with that pick I'm going to finally cut the green stuff here. A little bit disappointing pack after getting a lot of stuff that's open to my direction. Which of these options I want the most? Not a 3-drop. I don't think I'm gonna take the Cartographer's Companion. So there's a Blowgun, Compass Gnome, Nover. Guess the Compass Gnome is never like too bad, and you can get stuff like Nover later on. I'm gonna take the 2-drop over like the Blowgun, which I think was the other consideration there. Cosmium Blast or the second Skull Taker. Now, this is like a decent deck partly because of the double Chupacabra, which makes me want to minimize the number of instants and sorceries. I have one instant only, no sorceries, so the blast could be picked. I have a lot of creatures. I think I'll take the blast now as a removal option here. I could now take the Ray of Ruin or just take the Screaming Phantom. Sadly, it's not even a vampire for this because I really don't like this. I guess there's also the Blood Rage Mycoid. Do I need a 4-drop? I guess it can give me some sack fodder. I just don't like the Phantom. It's 3 mana 2/2. It's so small for its cost. And the ability is not necessarily worth it. Another chance is good, but I think I like the Gem Guard too. Might be a little bit unnecessary now that I took 4-drop in my previous pick, but I think I'll still take it. And here, am I supposed to take a Phantom finally? Okay, I'm gonna take one Phantom, sure. Sunscribe offering, this was the pack that had a lot of options for me, I think. I do like the offering, but the Sunscribe is a 2-drop creature, I might still want to have those. Although with the Mephitic Drought, I think I wanna have another way to sacrifice stuff, sure. I'm not taking another Gem Guard, I have a bunch of 4-drops. Or I would take if there wasn't a hidden Necropolis, but I will take the Necropolis here. Another boulder. Out of these, I think I like the Nova slightly more, maybe even a main deck card. The other one is just a sideboard card that I rarely end up using. This pack has Sunscribe offering Tithing Blade, Tinkerstone. I think now I'm taking the Tithing Blade. I think I have enough ways to sack the one Mephitic Drought I have. Let's see. Where are the ways to sack? One offering. There's the Bartolome. There is a Glorifier. That's 3. If I play the Acolyte, that's 4. I guess that's it. I'll join the Dead. Petrify. The Petrify is like a permanent based removal, but I think the Join the Dead is just better being an instant. Yeah, I'll take Join the Dead. Grasping Shadows, not the worst. Oh, there's a Sunken Citadel. It's just mana fixing, you know. Enters tapped, choose a color. I guess it can help also cast this one in. But there's like another chance. But I have a lot of cards. Some easy cuts maybe, but this pack is still gonna have a lot of cards left. So I'm gonna take the mana fixing land here. Okay, Join the Dead, Echo of Dusk. This is actually kind of annoying because I want the Echo really as well, just to have more vampires for the Paladin. Vampire count is now 5, one of which is the Paladin itself, so it has 4 things to return. But Join the Dead is Join the Dead. And I think I have a bunch of early drops here already. Maybe not that much actually. I would hate to pass Join the Dead, but I'm actually taking the Echo of Dusk. It is the 2-drop I really want to have here. Here I will take a Miner's Guidewing, I think, over the Hidden Courtyard. The Guidewing is quite decent. And also some kind of a sacrifice. Fodder, board presence, evasion. Not a lot of damage, but yeah, the other option is the Courtyard over the Snail, I would say, but I'll take the Guidewing. Malicious Eclipse, Mephitic Drought, and an Offering. Now, if I could take both of these, I would like it. That's a good sideboard card. It also kills a lot of my things, though. I think I kind of have my deck finished. I'm taking the sideboard card here. I could use the Sunscribe maybe, but this can't really make you win a game. Here, Soaring Sandwing is something that can, get my Fathomless Descent count up. I don't really need another Gem Guard. I'll take the Sandwing. Maybe I will even play it. Okay, maybe they draw it, but I'm taking it, but I'm not sure if I have enough praise to sack to play two of them. Here I can take the Sunscribe, and I can take the Helping Hand. There's not gonna be enough things I'm interested in returning, so just the Sunscribe. Leap. I have one of these crack shots, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut, so I'll take this Leap as like some kind of a sideboard card, maybe. I won't have space for the companions, I'll just take the uncommon out of this pack, and this kinda wasn't the best possible black and white deck. The pack 3 just didn't really offer me much, sadly. I guess I got Join the Dead and had an opportunity to pick another one, but I actually wanted to have the 2-drop vampire. That makes my Queen's Bay Paladin slightly more, to have more vampires. And I think a 2-drop creature was still quite desirable at that point. Okay, one of these again, straight to the sideboard, and one more card, useless. Okay, that is 30 cards. Let's see the creature curve now. I can cut the crack shot. I'm gonna cut the Fungal Fortitude and one of the Draughts, because the ways to sack stuff, I don't have too many of that kind of stuff going on. Glorified Acolyte. I'm not even sure if I want to play the Acolyte. So it's mostly just the one Fanatical Offering I have here, and Bartolome, and the Glorified. That's like 3. Well, I'm definitely cutting one of them. 19 creatures. I guess I can cut a creature. Yeah, I just don't think the Acolyte is that good, so it goes away. It goes away. 26 cards. Do I want to main deck the Gnover? Do I want to play the Sandwing? If I play the Sandwing, I will play 16 lands for sure. Cosmium Blast. I could see not playing the Mycoid, because I have so few ways to sacrifice things. I don't really need the fodder, and these other 4-drops I like more. Let's cut the Mycoid, and now it's a question between how many white cards. That's still 9. Okay. Do I want to play the Phantom? I guess I will now, because I don't have that many 3-drops, and it will fill the grave for the Echoes. Hopefully. I have how many instant and sorceries? Total of 4 instants. Well, at least one of them probably puts a permanent to the graveyard regardless. I could see cutting something like a Cosmic Blast from the main deck, but I could also cut the Nover. This can be a little bit awkward in some matchups. 5 mana, 5/2. I think I like the Sandwing more. I guess I could cut the Gnome too, because this is now, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops without the Gnome, and the Guidewing, and the Bitter Triumph, and the Cosmic Blast for the early game. I think the Gnome isn't really needed here at all. Yeah, so I'm gonna play the Cosmic Blast and this stuff. So this deck has like not too much going on for it. Mostly the double Chupacabra, and this may be getting me back a thing. It's not really a sacrifice deck, because I needed more cards like the Glorified of Suffering, which usually goes late, and in this case it did not. I mean, I saw one of them, I think, and I picked it, and that's it. Vampire count is now still 5, so this plus 4 others. I'm actually happy I took the Echo of Dusk over the Join the Dead. I want to make sure that this has a fairly decent chance of bringing back immediately after ETB. So you get the value immediately. Yeah, well, this is the deck. I will play 16 lands and the Sandwing. The Sandwing will be maybe useful for the Echoes. And of course, this Echo too. Yep, alright. I would want it to have a Join the Dead. And I saw once a Join the Dead. What did I pick over it though? Could have been the Gem Guard or something. But that's that. Let's add the lands. These two, and it's gonna be. Well, this counts as both because I can choose which it's gonna be. I have so much more black cards, black double casters, so I'm definitely gonna, prioritize black here. Maybe even enough to make it so that I'm gonna play 6 planes, and these 9 black sources here, and this can be either my 7th white source or my 10th black, because I have these double casters too, and I won't be needing two white. And this thing also can get me a plane, so definitely 6 planes is. I mean, there's no reason to play more than that. Alright, not my greatest black and white deck, but let's see if I can get some wins with it. That's the deck. I can't keep this, it's just 1 land. I have the Planescycler, but if I don't get another land like immediately, I'm gonna miss my 2nd land drop. I'm on the play here, so this is a mulligan. This is fine. I have the wizards here. Hopefully getting. No, that's a good card, but maybe not in this situation because I lack the 2nd black and. Oh, the opponent kept a 6 lander apparently. I'm sure they didn't keep a 7 lander. Well, the Malcolm goes away. That's interesting. I got my 2nd black here. They draw immediately. Okay, they got the wrestler, but I mean they just played it as a 1/2 flash. Who cares? Well, they kept the 6 lander and drew 3 spells. Sorry, 2 spells and 1 land, I guess. Yeah, because they must have kept the Malcolm. Alright, well, Gem Guard. I guess I'll take 3. I'm gonna make this into a 4/4. If they get an upgrade, though, it's still gonna kill it, of course, but because it's an artifact, but I wanted to do this once. Alright. So now I think I'm still going to keep growing this guy, and I'm gonna leave it as a blocker now. My stuff will start dying at some point. I can join the dead that. They'll get a explode out of that. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna join the dead in response to that. So, they might not target the scouts, but well, let's see. I'm just gonna be greedy and grow this guy. I mean, usually when you keep growing this, at some point the opponent just deals with it, but I know what they're gonna draw. They have 1 unknown card there. I really hope they target the scout here. Okay, they chose to do that. It's also a smart thing to do. They have a belligerent yelling. They can attack now for 3. Okay, fine. I have to. They're probably gonna give the favor to someone else. Okay, my draws are not the greatest. My echoes do nothing. I mean, yeah, these are good cards, but if you draw both of them in the top 10 cards of your deck, it's not so great. Especially when I don't get any trades going on here. So I must have the Gem Guard here still as a blocker, and the Skull Taker is just. There's just no real reason to Craft with 2 creatures. Yeah, I have 2 creatures on the battlefield. How about no? And yes, I know I can play these as 3/2s, but I will not do that. So they're gonna go for the Etalis Favor. If they get an upgrade on the Gem Guard, I will die. Pirate, so... Or Bounce Spell, they can have of course many things to deal with this. Pickaxe. Okay, are they going to sacrifice one of their creatures to deal? I guess on the next turn they will, so I won't be... Okay, finally I got something. So now I can just sack them. Am I supposed to... Do I need all the blockers? I can still make this into an 8/8, which is a little bit maybe irrelevant. So do I want to have 3 blockers or 2 blockers? Because I can tap the Skull Taker and the Wizards, and then play the Glorified of Suffering, sacking the Wizards, and I will, you know, have some... I will have 2 blockers still. But... I'm starting to take a lot of damage, and if they get an interactive spell, it's too risky. So I'm going to just do this. And actually the Skull Taker will get another counter here too, so it's gonna be a 4/4. I'm not in a position to attack. At least at some point I might... Ah, so be it. I lost the game. They got a Chimil there. Well, I gotta admit, they drew a lot of spells after keeping the one spell hand. Because if I didn't know that they had, 6 lands when I played this, I mean, I couldn't know now that they had such a set of draws here, Anyhow, I'm going to attack here, of course. This was a good draw, but it's only 3 power. But I'm gonna attack with... So if I attack with the Gem Guard in here, they will lose 2 relevant creatures. They can't combine the Wrestler and something else. They will lose 2 relevant creatures. So I'm actually going to... Because I'm of course losing to the Chimil. They get to discover 5 each end step. I'm gonna do this. The Chupacabra Echoes of course need to start doing work here. Just jumping there, that's all fine. So now I could kill the Yelling, but of course before that happens I'm gonna play my life-gaining Flyer. And no reason to tap my guys. This is a 5/5 now. If they don't hit, great. Well, they have an indestructible pickaxe now. They choose to attack with it though. Well, I take 5. Not block with it. Jump is going to deal 4. Actually, yeah, doesn't do anything. This has to be some kind of a bug. They don't have 2 jumps in their hand. They have 1 unknown card and a jump. Anyway, this doesn't look that bad actually. Double block on the Skull Taker is gonna eat 2 of their creatures. They can also kill the Gem Guard. Just thinking that if I play the Tinkerstone, I can make that into an 8/8, and that's gonna be awkward for them in terms of making blocks happen. I think I'll do that. Eight is gonna be... They would need to triple block it to kill that thing. And I'm of course going to now just attack with everything, make more food for the Chupacabra Echoes. If they take this, it's gonna be 16 damage. I'm not going to lose to their counter attack. I have a Tinkerstone giving me life. They actually have to probably double block the Skull Taker or jump the Gem Guard. I'm fine with all these options. They go down to fairly low life total here. Nice. And the echoes now start actually finally working here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna crack this thing right now. I think they made a mistake with the pickaxe there by attacking, because it's an indestructible blocker on the gem guard. But they're just looking to aggress. Okay, now they can kill that because they had the power at dead. Alright, alright. It's dead. But I can even kill the indestructible thing now. I will take the 5. They crack that to kill the blocker, sure. I'll take the 4 actually. The only reason to not crack this if I want to have a... Do I have another goblin? I don't think I even do. Let's just crack this. Although it's a way to give it this... Wait a minute. They have one card in hand, but it's not a chomp. This is a bug. I think it's an unknown card in hand, but I have a... Okay, I think I'm gonna wait with the 3 life game, because I might want to grow this once. But they will get the Discover 5, let's not forget that, but it's just a Sunshot Militia. I can actually... Okay, the offering isn't bad either. So the point is, I can... Sadly they will get the Discover 3 there, of course, but there's no way around it, is there? I'm gonna give them the Discover 3 because they do have to block the gem guard if I put one. What? Another Zodiac Cliff. Well, at least it is... Oh, they actually took 4 there because of the Cyclo Raptor. That was sweet. Anyway, it's just a jump block now. It is just a jump block now. Well, let's make them jump block then. Now, if I use the offering on their turn, I take 4 damage. I don't think I need the 3 life. I'd rather draw the cards here. Hoping this won't backfire. I can block the Raptor, Iceberg. Okay, but of course the Chimil here. Well, they did mill the upgrade, which would have been an answer to the gem guard. But yeah, the Chimil, it's actually pretty funny if I'm able to win through that thing. Now it's another belligerent yelling. They also have very high quality cards in their deck. Alright, so... well, I actually will kill this guy, because again, if they cast the Discovery thing, they will go to 1. And that's worth it. It is a jump, which they don't cast because of the Raptor, and they have to jump block, and they have to... Well, they don't have to trade, but they probably want to trade. I will play the Phantom post-combat. I don't need to tap down anything. Yeah, I can't attack with the 1/1. They can, you know, block it for free if they so choose. Well, this is interesting. Let's give it a counter. 1 is enough. I don't want to have any hasty attackers there. They have an unknown card. This is not the last card in their hand, which is shown on their top right corner of the screen. It is an unknown card. This is a bug, this Triumphant Jump. Now they do have the Iceberg there, and then they have another Discover 5, which is just a Tomb Raider. I mean, they have gotten so many free cards in here, and I think I still... Yeah, they killed my Phantom, of course, but... Can I deck them out? I do think I'm gonna just play this and what is this weird stuff going on here? I don't even know. Echo of Dusk, that's reasonable. So they can jump the gem guard and can block the echo with the thing there. Okay, so because of the Chimil they keep getting, you know, things, but also they keep jumping with them, so I'm able to still get a board, you know, position in here. Now they drew a land, so if okay, they're gonna tap the 1/1. Okay, they're gonna untap that. Yeah, of course, that makes sense. So, I mean, if I double block it, it's not the worst idea. I can jump block with the 1/1. I can take 6, but that I don't like. I like the double block more. If they have a trick, then they have a trick. Now this thing, that's a third yearling. That is a third yearling, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. That is quite sweet. Let's see what this thing does. I can still play the Echo of Dusk. Okay, I get to see what's in their hand. And I get the flyer. Now I should see the actual card in their hand. It is a mountain, yep. So, they will jump block my thing, and I guess I could make this into a 10-10, but... because I can tap now the bat and the Dusk. 8 power, Mr. Haster with... this happens in end step, so... sure, let's have a 10-10. And they just drew top decked a trumpeting connoisseur that discovered in the second upgrade. That was a top deck. I can still win with the deep cavern bat, but that was insane. I mean, the fact that they had a connoisseur and they got the removal for the gem guard. They're almost decking out, but not quite. They have still 4 here. So, I mean, if I don't block... this has trample. I guess I can absorb 1, because they have the militia here. Okay, fine. I guess I'll absorb 1. Don't know if that makes sense, but the Chimil is gonna be the problem here. Unless they have only 4 lands left in the deck, which is not impossible, and that's the case. Wow. It's still not enough. They have 4 lands left in the deck. They have an unknown card in hand. But... so they have to block with this. I go to exactly 7. And I will exactly die to their attack. The connoisseur is exactly enough. Now I know I have the drought in here, which I have to... I just make sure. I block here, they have to block the Echo of Dusk. I go to 7. Then they will attack with this. They have no spells left in the deck. They have the connoisseur. So I have to block the connoisseur with the Echo of Dusk. That's how it goes. I know they are not going to get any more cards. So if I prevent... yeah, that's why I think I also need to do this. Hopefully drawing a relevant spell. Well. They have... that is definitely... I can even discard the swamp here. Now the thing is... they have an unknown card in hand. It's probably just a land, so if it's a land I win regardless, which I kill. But let's say if I kill the militia and they like bounce the Echo of Dusk, then I lose. Because this is not a jump, it's an unknown card, it's just bugging, the game is bugging. So if I kill the Carnosaur, yeah, I think this is the safer way to do it. This is the safer way to do it. And I'll just, you know, discard a card, kill this thing. Bye bye. And now they have only lands left in the deck. And of course facing lethal. Alright, alright. I beat a Chimil that just churned through their deck. I beat a Trumpeting Carnosaur. They had triple yelling. I mean, this is mostly good on turn 2, so it's not really that amazing later in the game. They have double upgrade. They have how many chomps? 2 chomps at least. They have 2 Zodiac Cliffs. They have a Malcolm. This deck is really good that I'm facing here. Yet I won the game 1 here. They did keep a pretty ridiculous hand though. It was a 6-lander. Okay. This doesn't do much. Fortitude can like counter an upgrade. I don't know how to face that deck. What to do? Cosmium Blast should be useful. Tithing Blade is useful. Offering is useful. Phantom is a little bad given what they have. I think the Phantom could be cut. And I just played a Fungal Fortitude here. I like the rest of the stuff, even the Nova here. This thing can kill a Carnosaur because it's 6 damage. And an Iceberg. They have the double Cliff there too. I wish I had a Petrify now in the deck. Petrify is so good against the Cliff. I don't know how I won this game. I guess it was the Gem Guard doing some work. And of course the double Echo. I won also due to them. I don't really think I can play the Boulder. It's so clumsy at 6 mana. Alright. Let's see what happens. Even though I'm up 1 game, I don't think my chance to win the match is so good given what they have. Double Cliff. Okay, this is not good. I have to mulligan again. Sure. I have a Tithing Blade for... I hope they don't have the Goblin. Okay, they had a Diamond Pickaxe. So I can kill their 2-drop, which is a Yearling most likely, yes. But it's not happening right now. Then I can play my... Well, Suffering Drought combination, I like that. I think here, if I draw a land, I can go draw Sunscribe on the next turn. Now they will equip an attack with a 4-3. So there's an option to use the Cosmium Blast. But I think I'm gonna use my mana efficiently this turn at least. And I will consider the Cosmium Blast on the next turn. Yeah, well, okay. Forget everything. I have to do this block just to somehow stay alive. It's indestructible, so the Cosmium Blast won't work there. Alright, well, let's just understand that I wasn't gonna win here because, you know, this combination is a little bit ridiculous when I don't have a Petrify. Yep. Alright, game 3. Game 3 this. There's nothing I can do about that nonsense. Eclipse is not good enough. Yeah, there's nothing, so let's just go and either win or lose. I mean, I need to have a good draw and they need to not have a good draw. But it's very hard for their deck to not have a good draw based on what I saw. Because I saw their entire deck in the game 1. Can I have one 7 card hand? Because in both games I had the Mal to 6, a 1-lander. Yeah, this has to be good enough. I get the card draw from the draw to have a Tithing Blade for the early drop, which I hope is not the, the Tomb Raider, which it wasn't. The Suffering can sack these, and I got the third land. So now, so far I have a chance. No pickaxe either, so they won't be getting the indestructible thing immediately. I think I'll play the Tithing Blade right now, because I want to have. I mean, I could have played this sack the draw, but I want to have 2 targets for this side claw thing. Okay, this is great, actually. And I know I could make it into a 4/4, but I'm just gonna trade, make my Chupacabra echoes, start growing. Unless they have a chomp or an upgrade. I think they have a lot of ways to deal with, but I mean, still my echoes are online very soon, and I hope I get a no or no. So yeah, now it's time to, just realize that I'm not gonna get 2 counters out of this. 1 is fine. There's the land. So if I use the Cosmium Blast, I will be taking 4. But of course, if they kill this guy, which they do, I'm taking 4 regardless from the Raptor, so it doesn't actually matter. I'm taking 7 here no matter what. Unless they can save the Raptor, that would actually be a different story. They couldn't. Now, let's hope they don't have the Carnosaur. I have the couple of echoes in here, so this is not so bad. But if they have a Carnosaur, 7/6 Trample and Discover 5 is too nasty. And they just discover into the panicked Altasaur. I wish I had the bat on the previous turn. Well, I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to survive, but let's play the stuff here. Pickaxe. So it's gonna trample over 4 damage. I guess I survive here, because they can put me to 1. Well, I mean, there's a chance. And the Echo kills the Altasaur. Oh man. Oh, it doesn't, because they can make it into a 6 toughness. And this wasn't relevant enough. Oh boy. How can I make this into a 6? Oh, they did not. Oh, you are telling me there is a chance. They actually did not equip, which is relevant. Alright. Let's see what is in their hand. Oh, this is insane. If they have a spell of some kind. Well, let's see what it is. Malcolm. Alright, alright. Well, not good. Because they're gonna make it into a 2 toughness creature. Yeah, I mean, the Guide Wing is not good enough, because I will have to jump block immediately. So the Guide Wing will just give me another jump block and an Explore. I mean, I need to actually draw an out. I must kill the Altasaur, because it will ping me to death otherwise. Imagine if they didn't have this perfect curve topping off with the Malcolm, because I had a chance, because I could have started. Well, anyway, I have to describe at the bottom. I mean, I still have a chance if I draw a kill spell on the Malcolm. I have like for example, the -5/-5, which is -10/-10 at this stage. But I'm gonna go to 2 and then, oh come on. Well, like I said, I have to. The way for me to win here is to. The way for me to win here is to me to have a good draw, which I in the end did, and them to have a bad draw, which they absolutely did not. I mean, the Carnosaur by itself was a huge problem when it discovered into this thing. I almost got saved by my double Chupacabra Echo. That was really about these things. But they sadly had them. Well, even the torch here not denying me one more draw. Okay. Their deck was insane, obviously, so the win was well deserved in that sense. But I got so close, despite them having this ridiculous draw in there. Okay, something a little bit easier, thank you. I still have problems with my starting hands, but this gets me a planes. I have the draw suffering combination, so this is actually an easy keep. With the sandwing, this is an easy keep. It's a little slow if I don't naturally draw the planes, but at least it's a keepable hand. Let me see. How's the next turn gonna go? If I draw a land, yeah, I guess I'll just do the Echo of Dusk now. Next turn, if I don't draw a land, I'm gonna Sandwing, Plains Cycle, play the Plains. I don't like them having their Lifelinger 1/1. That makes raising harder from the get-go, despite me being on the play here. So I'm going to have to get my planes the hard way. And ideally I just draw a land. And my only enters tapped land is already on the battlefield. So if I draw a land I can double spell. That's all I want to have. I guess I can draw my... What is this? 3 colors. Well, they have a fixing here, so be it. Don't like seeing that. That gives them some late game stuff. Alright, so let's hope to draw the land with this draw then. Come on. You can do it. You cannot do it. I'm not gonna trade with the crewmate. This will become a lifelinker at some point. Thingerstoat will, you know, give me blockers for the crewmate. But they have this glorious anthem coming up, and I can't pressure them in any way because of my, you know, I drew what? No lands actually at all, because the only land I have been able to play here is the one I cycled for. So a little bit unlucky in that regard. And now if I draw a land, it would have to be a plains to allow double spelling. Because my 2-mana spells are white, both of them. Yeah, this will be a challenging game to try to... Okay, well I did draw the plains, so there is that. Am I interested in the Cosmic Blast though? I mean, just a Ruin Lurker Bat. It will be a problem in the end, but I could just play the Toad right now. Well, I guess I can just block the crewmate with my Sunscribe. Cosmic Blast. Well, that's dead. Well, it doesn't change really anything. I think I want to just deal with the Lurker Bat. It's annoying, but I don't have a flyer currently, and I have a join the dead for some other ground guy they might be having. I wouldn't want to give them the scries either, which they would be getting if they descend, and this trade will make that happen. Alright, the problem is they still have 6 cards in hand, and well, no artifact yet to craft, but with these colors that's just a matter of time. If I draw land though, I can play the Nova and Sentries, whatever. Envoy is annoying. Well, okay, that's actually better than a land here. Okay, it's time to get a little bit lucky. I don't want them to be able to make those 1/1s when they have the clarified bricks or the Cosmium Kiln waiting for transformation. Because making 2/2s for 5 mana is a lot, you know, more threatening than just 1/1s. So they are blue-white actually, and they are just splashing for something, and they do have the means to splash. Okay, from top 3 they can choose either all of them to go to the graveyard or one of them not. They chose to put 2 of them. No, well, I guess they don't need a Compass Gnome or the Mountain. And then I get my Primordial Nova here. Yeah, I will offer this trade. Yeah, I can offer this trade. Because, you know, I could give it an extra counter with the Glorifier, but it doesn't matter if it has that much toughness. It will always trade with these, even if it's a 4/3. Alright, so they didn't block, understandably. They are gonna raise. They might have an artifact, so this can attack. Hopefully they don't have interaction for the Nova here, though. Because if they, I mean, the kind of interaction that prevents the Discover from happening. It could be a bounce spell, it could be a Petrify. I guess if it's a Petrify, the Glorified of Suffering can still not sacrifice it. Okay, no artifact, no attacks, no nothing. Ooh, that's a vampire. It will cost me 2 life, but that's not a big deal. Sure. Well, let's move. I don't know what they have. They didn't do anything on their turn, so that's gonna be some kind of an instant. And I have a Join the Dead if there's gonna be something too nasty. Alright, you get to do that bounce. They get a treasure. I mean, map token. Don't consider it too problematic. The only question is, am I going to play the Paladin? I will have 2 permanents in my graveyard if I do that, so it won't be a life linker. But it is a 5/4 also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if they have a land, they can do this. They can use the Compass Gnome to. Yeah, then the Nova is just going to sadly. I can make this into a 6/3 actually with the Glorifier. So yeah, let's do this again. See what they have. I just need to grind through the Cosmium Kiln. There's no other answer here. Sunbird Standard. Okay, they can make a 2/2 out of that. But no kiln yet. Yeah, I'm going to, of course, make the block here with on the 3/3. It has more toughness. Get something good here. Well, it's something at least. 2 cards I don't know about. Map token on the battlefield. What is it going to be? They don't have mana to transform this thing. It's 5 mana total there. Hey, what's it with all these Zodiac Glyphs? Anyway, the good news is that they don't have a land in their hand. It could be a creature or an artifact. Now it could be also instant or sorcery as well. But I'm actually supposed to first kill this guy, and then I can play the wizards. Because they might, discover into something they want to put in their hand, and then I can have maybe the option to get rid of that. So let's do that first. pirate hat is not gonna go to their hand. And now the wizard at least gives me information if nothing else. And it is actually a creature I can... That's a valuable discard. I'm not going to lie about that. They can still make a 2/2 flyer. They can... Yeah, I can try to raise here. Tithing Blade is not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. I'm gonna actually keep it. That allows me to play Tinker's Toad and the Tithing Blade on the next turn. Because even if I can kill 1/2/2, making them sacrifice one, it's good enough. Okay, there's the land. I assume they're gonna... they didn't actually need even the key, land for that, because the standard obviously makes their 7th mana regardless. But so I guess I am happy they drew a land, because that's not usable for any nastier stuff. So they're gonna have a bunch of guys now. The question is, are they gonna attack for 4? They are. Okay, so... I don't have to play the Tinker's Toad. I can choose to take the Glorifier of Suffering, and that's great, because then I can attack with these guys. Yeah, let's do this. I have to be careful though, the standard is... it has haste. It becomes a 2/2 and it's a 3/3 thanks to the kiln. So I'm at 4 basically. But... if I sack this, I'm gonna go to 6, and then I will have a blocker. No, I can't attack with both in that case, sadly. But I also need to win the game. But I need to block both ground guys. If I sack the Mephitic Drought, I don't have to sack that. I can choose to sack the Tithing Blade. I can also choose to play the Toad here. I guess that's what I'm eventually gonna do. I'm gonna give them a chance to... That's fine. It's Lifelinker. I'm gonna give them a chance to trade here, because I wouldn't mind them trading. And then I think I'll just play that. Okay. Now that they chose not to trade, my decision is a lot easier, because I have to play the Toad. Otherwise, I will lose. Well, actually not exactly. If I chose to play the Glorifier and sack something else than the Drought, because the Drought costs me 1 life point. And they will have a 3/3 flyer there. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So if they have a 3/3 flyer, I go to 4. Sacking the Drought makes me go to 3. And they have that thing too. Okay, they chose not to use the standard, which is a little annoying. I guess they wanted to loot into some stuff there. I'm gonna jump here for sure. Because I have the Queen's Bay Paladin, which I want to actually use at some point. Maybe even on the next turn. Although that's not gonna happen. Because they can also equip the standard. Yeah, the standard is the problem. I can't play the Paladin and you know, sacrifice the Toad, because I don't have the mana for it. Yeah, the kiln was the problem in the end. The +1/+1 on all of the guys is a little awkward. Because because this is gonna be a 3/3 now, and they can make it into a 4/4 thanks to the Pirate's Hat. So that is now... I mean, I can't go to 3 life. But I can go to 6 if I block all the rest of their guys. I think I'm even supposed to... Yeah, I'm supposed to do this. And I'm supposed to do this. And I can do the Mephitic Drought sacrificing now. And I'm going to target the Echo so that I can attack into the 4 toughness creature. And the Dusk to gain more life. And then I can block the ground guys. I made a mistake. I forgot what they have. They have the captivating cave. It's yeah. I needed to save mana for the Tinker's Toad because as long as they see that they have the yep. It was about the one life. I forgot they have the land there. So I mean I still wanted to. I didn't have a great play if I didn't do this play. If I left mana for the Tinker's Toad, then I can't really pressure them. But my next draw being the bat giving me one jump block on that thing. Well, I wouldn't have been able to. Well, too late now. I lost. And darn these Zoetic Cliffs. I had two of them facing against me in the first game. I don't know what the red stuff is, but nothing good for me. Oh, Cosmic Blast. Bounce. So how is it gonna go? I never actually got to play the Paladin, but yeah, I had the mana issues there, so I couldn't really go through with everything I had planned in there, especially when they bounced the Nova, I had to recast it. So, Eclipse. It's gonna be not the greatest. It kills so many of my creatures. I'm on the play. I'm thinking about the acrobatic leap here, but what would be the cut? Like the Nova, perhaps? I don't like them having bounce on my Nova, so I'm gonna play the leap here. Maybe I can try to do some tricks. Although Fungal Fortitude is really good with the echoes, which I just realized now. This might even be a good main deck card here. I'm gonna play the Fortitude. It maybe should be in the main deck because it's so good with the echoes. Anyway, that's the sideboarding. I was so close there, but tight game, and maybe with different plays I could have won. All right, not easy mana-wise here. Well, I'm keeping it, but just get rid of this. I don't like it. I just have a two-color deck. I even picked the rare land that can, I can choose the color which it produces, but I'm not getting good vibes, and the opponent also starts with a good one unless they miss on this, which they don't. Okay, so at least the echo will be nice again. This is definitely the best. These two are the best cards in my deck, and they have allowed me to, at least have a chance in these games that I have almost won. Pakal. That is unfair. Let's mill a permanent card. I don't have a lot of instant sorceries. Okay, thank you. Guess I can get a counter on this and it fed the echo, but they're gonna start. This is gonna be an uphill battle again because they're gonna start amassing cards with this thing. They can get the planes. This is an artifact. Then they get to choose from top two at the end step. And if they have something like a Cosmic Blast on remaining to have a double spell turn, I don't like it. And I still by missing my white here. Okay, so they're gonna look for a double block stuff, are they? No, sorry. Of course, why would they attack into a 3/3? Yeah, sure. Let's do the attack. If they do a double block, I guess if this mills a permanent, I can kill both of them. Because then the echo will be -3/-3. I can assign one here, two here, -3/-3, because the Skull Taker will go to graveyard. I don't think they're gonna block at all, but it's a chance. Just be a permanent. it was one of the very, very few non-permanents. And you know, this Join the Dead would have been really good against the Akal Pakal. And they're gonna go for the double block. They actually went for it. If this was a permanent card, I wouldn't mind at all this double block. So now I have to make a decision. Do I want to finish off the Akal Pakal here, or I'm losing the Goblin regardless? I mean, the odds for this weren't really very high, because I have two of my instants in my hand. I think I had like two or... Yeah, okay. That's super annoying, because this is the difference between leaving the Staunch crewmate alive and not. I think I have to kill that guy though. I'm so annoyed. So annoyed. Because now this crewmate can just trade with the Echo. Otherwise they would have needed to trade with it using some other card. I am not satisfied. Yeah, I mean, if they attack, yeah, they get to loot, but the only chance I'm winning this game is by racing, and I have this 2/2 flyer here. Yeah, be my guest. I'm not going to block. I need to race. If they have a land Cosmian Blast, at least I can respond with the Fanatical Offering. They discarded a land, so I assume they do have a land drop. Yeah, they had a tapped land, alright. And a Ruin Lurker Bat giving them a scry. I think this was a huge difference there. Let's just do this and see what they have. Okay, this is their splash. Well, no, the belligerent for you yet. They have the red mana, of course, with the captivating cave. So now they have the lifelinker to race with. I kinda need the... because they're gonna make this into a 2/2 lifelinker if they want to. And this will come in a couple of turns. They have the land drops for it. So... at least so far I haven't been too hurt about missing the white mana. But that's because most of the cards in the deck are indeed black. Yeah, but the fact they got to save this that's a big deal. That is a big deal. They go down to 15, I go down to 11. And what I'm waiting for is them to get the 5, 6, 7 and the bricks thing transformed. Yep. I don't know what can I even draw here. I guess another Chupacabra would be the best one. Getting this milled was so annoying. Scry 1. They don't have an artifact in there at least. Scry bottom and here Echo of Dusk. Not a bad draw. Not a bad draw. Please now be a permanent. Okay, thank you. Even a very useless one. So now this will be a lifelinker. The sad thing is, of course, that this allows them to stay alive. I guess I need a Cosmium Blast for it. They will be playing the Brine Fang on the next turn. No, they will be playing the Belligerent. Okay, fine. I'm gonna use this, of course, in response. Still no planes, but Bitter Triumph is not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, I'm gonna fall from my chair. This is an uphill battle for sure. I have 20 minutes left. They have only 16. They have thought even more than I. Yeah. If they didn't have the lifelinker, it would be easier for me. But I guess they wouldn't have been that aggressive. They had the chance to lay the staunch crewmate to block the Chupacabra Echo many times. At least I think twice. And they wouldn't have taken 6 damage from it. Now, this is a good one, but I can actually deal with it using the Bitter Triumph. And if I can draw specifically a planes now, that allows me to use the Triumph and the Blast on the lifelinker. So this is a crew 3. They can't actually crew it using the crewmate unless they move the pirate hat, but of course once they do crew I can just kill the belligerent then, before it can block. So I'm dealing a bunch of damage here. Oh, they had a 2-drop there. Well, I guess the best they can do with it is jump block. Yeah, these freeze cries are kind of annoying to let them have. Okay, well that's not a planes, but it is a good draw. And I can still maybe get a planes here. Yeah, I'm going to start with this. I might draw a planes here. I have milled the swamp. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 out of my, I guess, like 10 or so. Well, alright, whatever. I'm almost considering discarding a swamp for the Bitter Triumph here. Yeah, let's attack with everything. Now we mill a planes, do we? There we go. They might suspect something and not crew the belligerent here. They can just trade the crewmate with the Echo of Dusk. That wouldn't be a bad play. If they do that, I can Chupacabra Echo Terwin Lurker Bat and let them attack with this thing on the next turn. Yeah, this is my... I don't actually think this is bad for me. I actually quite like it. So now they can play the 6-7 and use it to crew the belligerent, but do they have an artifact in here? They actually don't. So they can use the clay-fired bricks to eat the pirate hat to get 2 2/2s, make this into 2/3, and then crew the belligerent. I mean, okay, they have an envoy. Well, they had so many scries, and they did scry to top there, so not a surprise. Okay, they go for the aggression. So now they will have, they can play, they get a treasure token and they can play spells from the top of their deck. And play lands also, but of course only one land per turn. Not gonna block here. So if they have like all lands in their hand. Okay, that was one land. Do they have mana to turn the clay-fired bricks? They don't. They have only 6 even with the treasure. But they see some other spell on... No, they just... I mean, I actually will win this game if they have nothing. I mean, they didn't have anything... Oh! Well, that's information. I mean, I kill the blocker and win. So let's see what is in their hand. I mean, there's a chance I win this game by never having my planes. But I mean, again, double Chupacabra echoes. And I think the opponent was a little aggressive. They are doing some risk here now. But at least they have something. They have, okay, they island cycled that, so I can't make them discard that. I guess that means they have a land in their hand. And Cosmic Blast. And they have a treasure. Darn. I can't make them discard a Cosmic Blast. Well, that's a little awkward. And now it hurts that I do not have a place, because if I could have my Sunscribe post-combat, I mean, I would play this card like the Cosmium Blast, not take 3 life loss. And then if this was a plains, I will Sunscribe to have a blocker, because now I don't have a win here. If I kill this, they are forced to kill a Chupacabra Echo, go to 1. But the problem with that plan is that they can use the clay-fired bricks and then use the tokens to crew the belligerent. I will take 6 plus 4, I will take 10 damage. Wow. So how 3 plus, I guess I just need to kill the belligerent with the bitter triumph. I think that is the only thing. And I cannot use. And they have the treasure, so that's why they have the mana. I guess if they now use the Cosmic Blast before assigning blocks, they have to. Oh man, opponent. That was just a straight up mistake. Well, I mean, I take the wins when I can, but I mean, they were supposed to assign the blocks and then choose who to kill with the Cosmic Blast. That was insane. There was no reason to use that in Declare attackers. No reason whatsoever. Wow. Okay. Okay. Very annoyed about the Lurker Bat. Don't like the Cosmium Blast. I'm kind of wanting to have this leap here, in addition to the fungal fortitude I had. I'm running out of cards I'm willing to, cut here. I won't be cutting a land, that's not possible. I won't be cutting the Sandwing either. Miner's Guidewing, Sunscribe. Well, the Phantom did some work there. Pakal. Oh. I guess with the Aspirant and the Crewmate, the Sunscribes aren't the best cards in here. And I still don't think the Eclipse is that good. They have these 3 toughness creatures I can't affect. This can be 3 toughness. This is 5 toughness, so I'm not guaranteed to get a good result from the -2 on everything. I think this is what I do. I cut 1 Sunscribe. It seems a little bit bad, but I want to have, of course, some 2-drop still to not fall behind. I haven't drawn the Bartolome, although maybe it's not the best in this deck, but it's still quite decent. Even if you don't have a lot of, synergistic sacrifice things, because you can also always kind of sack things that are being removed or something to get a counter on the thing. Okay. Hand is a 7-card hand that I can keep here. Citadel will say. I hate to see that. Alright, well, not so much now. I'm actually gonna take the trade if they attack. I don't even have a 2-drop for which to explore. I'm totally fine trading here. Getting my echo, you know, boosted. If they have a Cosmium Blast, then they have a Cosmium Blast. Them using on my 1-drop is totally fine. Now, I am thinking, yeah, I will let them hit a couple of times. It's not such a big deal. I'm not really looking at my hand. I'm not going to be the aggressor here, so they're gonna get a few life points. I go a few life points down here. I can maybe kill it with Echo if I'm annoyed about it, but I'm pretty sure the next turn will be the Tinker's Toad. Okay, they cycle that. That allows them to have the Scry. That's why they do it on their own turn. And I will need to... Oh, I have the Bitter Triumph if they have the Belligerent, so that's something to prepare for. I do like the fact I drew a land. Now I can go with the Gem Guard here. Start, you know, pumping it, hoping that they don't have a... Well, they have a bounce spell at least. I don't remember if they have an upgrade. I have seen only one red card, it's the Belligerent, which I hope they're not gonna have it here right now. Well... that thing also has to die. So the thing is, if I choose to kill it now, there's no other play for me. Other than, I guess, sack the Tinker's Toad, so this is a -2, -2. I don't want to give them any cards, so... Now if I play the Gem Guard on this turn, and I still probably want to kill this on the next turn, and I can't double spell unless I draw a 2 or 3 drop. So I think I'm going to get rid of this right now. And I will crack the Toad. I will not cycle the Sandwing because I'm only 1 land away from being able to cast it. The Toad makes this into a -2 effect, although it might still pick up the Ruined like a bat. I just hope they don't have the Belligerent as well, because that would be 2 of their good rares versus my, well, good uncommons, I suppose. Okay, Glorified is, I mean, that's just a 3-2, they're not gonna sack anything for it. Wow, I totally like that. Now, one thing about the Toad though is that it allows my Gem Guard to pick up counters easier. And I think I'm gonna just get rid of the bat now. So I'm not gonna sack that yet. That's a good draw. They keep having these priorities, but I mean, I don't know what it can be. It is gonna work anyhow. Alright, so now I can just trade with the Glorifier, and then I can play the Gem Guard, or maybe if I draw a land, just the Sandwing. And this is an answer to the Belligerent if they happen to draw it, or, you know, reveal it with this guy. Nothing. What? Has my luck changed? The opponent got only a 2-mana 2/1. I guess they are now 4 steps closer to the Belligerent, but he doesn't do much by alone. Alright, so I mean, not gonna trade with the crewmate, so let's just play my flyer, get things going, and I actually like my chances now. They might have the 6/7 Ward 3, but I actually can maybe even kill it with this if I get some graveyard presence. And this guy I can put to the graveyard easily. Alright, Sage of Days. They are digging at least. But now I'm the one who has an active attacker here. And even a Cosmium Blast. I don't remember if they have more of them, but if they do, it doesn't work on this guy. So do they mill 3 or 2? It's always gonna be one of these 2. They can't choose to keep more than 1 on top of the deck. The opponent. So I have 15 minutes. They are down to 8 and something. Okay, they mill 2 cards. They don't want to have the card or the land. understandable. But they wanted to keep the remaining one. Okay, the Phantom isn't bad. But I think I might still choose to get the Gem Guard. Start, improving its size a bit, because they will have to deal with the Gem Guard at some point. They might have a bounce spell, but maybe it's not too bad. Can I... It's a little risky to tap more, because then I will have only one blocker and they might deal with it and I take too much damage. So I'm going to just leave this set of blockers here now. Pirate Hat. Not too amazing given what they have. They can loot, of course, that's valuable if they have like a useless card in their hand, but whatever they attack with, I can trade with the Echo. And of course, if they attack with the crewmate, my Gem Guard is too large for it. So I can just do the block now. I don't mind having the Join the Dead becoming a -10, -10. And the Echo doesn't do anything when they have the crewmate here. I mean, it does, but it's not a very exciting trade for me. Okay, they're thinking about the discard, so it wasn't obvious choice, and it was in fact a non-land card in there. So let's see. They can have 6 power in here. I know I can use the Join the Dead as like if they double block the Gem Guard. But let's first see what I draw. Sunscribe. Well, let's... I mean, I can play Join the Dead and the Phantom, or the Sunscribe and one of these. Am I willing to waste the Join the Dead? Actually, I don't have to. I think I can make this into a 7/7. Isn't that right? Tithing Blade? Yeah, I'll keep that. Nice little synergy between these two cards, by the way. You can tap it for other reasons than attacking with it. So... Okay, so here's the thing. I can make it a 7/7, but then I can't attack with the Sandwing. But it is worth it, because now that I have a Tithing Blade here, if they jump block with the 2/1, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. And I also don't mind if they take the damage and attack back for 6. I do rather... Wait a minute, did I tap my mana in a weird way? I mean, I don't think I'm gonna crack this, but it would be nice to have the option open, because I played this and this. I could have left the 1 white mana open, but the auto tapper somehow prefers to have these non-basics up. Anyway, they didn't jump block, they took 7 instead of what, 3 I could have dealt. And now I have 5 power in the air. I have still a removal spell ready for some of the annoying stuff that might surface. Am I gonna do the Tithing Blade? No, there's no reason to do the Tithing Blade now, because they just sack the crewmate and I still don't have a good attack with the rest of my stuff. So let's... I think they have the bounce spell there, but so what? At least I get the scry here. And if they don't bounce my flyers, that's good for me too. That's also a card I want to draw. So now I can attack with the rest of the bunch. Oh, smart. Well, I milled that. I mean, it wasn't so bad to mill a permanent thing, but... Okay, there's the Brachis Plunderer, sure. But that's still now 5 damage in the air. And they don't seem to have anything for that. Alright. So now I have an unknown card waiting. I can't do this. I guess if I now Tithing Blade... Yeah, I'm gonna Tithing Blade now, because I might actually even, craft this on the next turn. So I better have it on the battlefield. Also, this allows me to give a counter to the gem guard, like this. And this board presence I'm having here is gonna overwhelm the opponent, not to mention the flyers alone are lethal. I don't care about them having a belligerent anymore. I don't care about them having the, you know, the hex, the ward 3, 6, 7. And I guess if they could have a mass removal effect, that would be super annoying. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I have just a lethal attack here, so yep. Attack with everything. They will go to 1 based on the air attackers alone, and they can block one of my 4 ground guys, and that's of course more than lethal. And I even actually had the option to just sack these, and that costs me 1 mana. And then I can play the land, and I will have a total of 6 mana left for the Join the Dead plus the ward. Yeah. Alright. Okay, I've been on the play, and this time it's again a hand that will be very awkward if I don't get a 3rd land in time. I can only cast a Bitter Triumph, but given what I have here, I think it's a keep. If I do get the land in top 2 cards, I can just go Phantom into filling the Echo. Wait a minute, opponent is mulliganing to... Was that to 5? I think I saw 2 quick mulligans there. Yeah, they went to 5, which gives me some time to find my 3rd land, I would assume. No 1 drop. Okay, well that is my 3rd land, so everything is fine now. And they have no early pressure, which is understandable given that they did go to 5. And I even got the draw to go with the Glorifier here. So are they gonna bounce this guy? I mean, what is the kind of card that they are thinking about having? I'm assuming it's a Brackish Plunder now. Again, double Chupacabra as my MVPs here. Let's see if they let me mill for 1. They get the map token from the Brackish Plunder only if it's tapped. So that's that, and yep, let that resolve. I will mill a permanent, and even... Well, I would have preferred a land actually, but I do need a swamp instead. Let's just do this again. So mult to 5 and use the, bounce spell, which is like a -1 card for tempo. Yeah, I think this might be over very soon. Toad or draw token to... let's do the toad. I mean, if they don't play creatures, might as well add to the board. And double my power available. 4 drops. Tithing Blade will... Okay, they get their 2nd color. And of course if I just draw a swamp, which I did, I have an even better move than a Tithing Blade here. The Screaming Phantom I guess is decent enough when you have these guys in here. Okay, I lost a bat here, but given that I have the Echo number 2, Tithing Blade... Alright, so it's like 3 blue-white decks against me. I think the... Oh no, the first one was blue-red. Yeah, that was the insane one. Well, I have, 3 removal spells here. This is pretty... It's gonna be pretty tough for the opponent to do anything here. I mean, given what I have here. Wrestler, do we want to leave that on top? They might want to leave it on top just to make this into a 4/4 and then mill it. That's also possible if they use the 2nd map, which they do. So let's see if they're gonna still leave it on the top. Nope. So all I have to ask is what is the best course of action here, because the Chupacabra Echo does -4/-4 now. The thing is that they might have a Tinker's Toad, and then the Tithing Blade becomes really annoying. So I could even go... Yeah, I'm gonna go for with the drought into Tithing Blade. And then I have the Chupacabra, which I can target however I want to. Yeah, they don't even want to continue, which is, I mean, if they don't have like a mass removal effect, understandable. Join the Dead went there. Well, that was not very tough when they mult to 5 and I had a basically, you know, a normal good mana curve. Now that I know they're blue-white, is that a reason to... Yeah, actually I'm going to cut the Nova now, and I really like the idea of the Fungal Fortitude with the Chupacabra Echoes. The Eclipse could be good. Blue-white has a lot of low toughness creatures. I just don't like the fact that I also have a lot of them, so I would have to kind of draw it in my opening hand and then slow play stuff and hope they don't play like 3 toughness stuff, and there's no guarantee that's going to happen. I might draw it mid-game when I have 3 creatures all dying to this thing, so I think I do only this one change. So I cut the 5-drop and got the Fortitude in. Okay, nice hand. 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. Not that the 2-drop is gonna be... It's good now, because I have a way to sacrifice it. Alright. So they get to keep 7, so we might have an actual game of Magic here. Well, that's maybe even a little bit better way to sack that. Okay. Although I probably play the Skull Taker first and then start sacrificing stuff, so this can get them decent triggers going on. They could have a Clockwork Wrestle. I mean, this trade wouldn't be the worst trade in the world, but if they have a Wrestler, then it's horrible. Yes, let's see what happens. I know if they have something like a Cosmium Blast, now I don't get to, you know, choose a target for the Explorer trigger. But if I show them pre-combat, I have a Skull Taker, they might save the Cosmium Blast for that, which is gonna be, you know, a slightly more impactful card. Are they gonna play anything this turn cycle? They are not. Well, now I have the advantage. I played more creatures than they. I mean, the total power of my creatures is more than theirs. They can. Okay, the Skull Taker will take a breather now for a turn, but nothing impossible here. It is tempting to block here, because this is kind of annoying. They will get the Discover 4 at some point, maybe. I mean, they will need to have mana open for it. But the reason I'm not blocking here is that, because this could pick the Explorer trigger, but it's because I can make a 2/2 Guidewing now. So I'm gonna take this. And, well, that's a good one too. But here's the point. I can make a sack, of course, of this thing, and the Guidewing is gonna be one of these. Now this 3/2 is just gonna trade with the Waylaying Pirates. And then again, it's not able to profitably block the Conservator. And this is gonna pick a counter regardless. I think I'm still giving the other counter to this. To this Glorifier, because if this is gonna survive, it's gonna pick up some counters, maybe further down the game. And now they basically don't have a good attack for the Conservator because I have a 3 toughness blocker. I don't want to take too much damage here. But I'm willing to trade with the pirates just to make the Chupacabra work better, and I have a very good target for the Chupacabra now. They don't want to have the landmark. Although, I guess if they do, in fact, attack with just the pirates, I have a pretty good counter-attack here, if I don't block with the Glorifier. But they seem to have a probably a Brachis Plunder, get the map token right away. Maybe. Petrify. Well, I have a fanatical offering for that. So no trades of any kind. Which also means that the Echo is currently not going to be able to deal with the Dawn Runner. Well, if I attack with everything, I don't mind trading with the Dawn Runner. I mean, attack with these two guys. I am willing to take any kind of a trade they're gonna offer here. Or just take 6 damage, which would be fine too. Okay, that's actually I think the best outcome for me. Now I don't have to be worried about the double striker because I simply kill it. Scout could pick a counter now when they explore, which means that my attacks... Okay, well, that didn't happen, so my attacks continue happening. Alright. Guess I'm gonna play the Sunscribe here. Just in case first. I might have to... I might want to target it with the Explore trigger. But I don't want to show them that I have an Echo of Dusk. That's a valuable information. And of course, I could just offer the trade on the Conservator too. Because they will start having mana open for this at some point. I'm willing to trade with the Conservator when they don't have 4 mana available. So let's do this. If they double block, I might block both, I can still keep the Guidewing counter on the... I mean the Explorer trigger targeting the Sunscribe here. So let's see if that's gonna happen. They do exactly that, which is fine. I get the Echo of Dusk happening, and if they have a trick, I have a fanatical offering to cut my losses. Alright, here I will get Land Auto Spell. No, I guess that's good. I mean, it is. I get information, and the flyer can matter. There's one card I don't know about. They might just go for play a land, crack these, and in that case I don't know about 2 of their cards. And of course this also not only lets me see what they have, but I also get to pick one of them. Just an Iron Paw Aspirant, which is not really good against my 3/3s. Oh, that's so... That wasn't a good hit from a Discover 4. They have no blocks. And I will now do this with the Skull Taker. Oh, even Join the Dead here. Even Tithing Blade. So let's first do this for information, of course. And maybe even getting something away from there. Brachis Plunder number 2, isn't they have already... No, they haven't used in this game. So the Sentry, I don't care about the Sentry, but they don't have the Bounce Spell now. So I believe I should just maximize the damage output here. Yeah, I mean this might also reveal a land, but now it didn't, and well, I give them the opportunity to jump block. But now that they didn't, and I have to Join the Dead here, I'm gonna do this because next turn I can you know, craft this. I have a creature here. Multiple. So that's also a clock. They might have difficulty speeding because they haven't know. I mean, their main priority for them is right now to just stabilize. And that's basically possible only with a mass removal effect, which there is in the format. But then my cavern bat would actually survive that cliff bridge, whatever it is. And then I can craft these to start eating their life total. Alright, well that was that. Alright, so a pretty insanely good deck in the match one. And I think, yeah, I won the game one there, despite their having the mythic, you know, the Discover 5 artifact for the better half of the game active there. But then the next two games were a little tough nuts to crack. 2-1 is, as always, a result you can't be too disappointed at. Yeah, I know it costs 500 gems and you get 3 packs and the drafted cards, but as long as you keep, I mean, my kind of thought process is that because I do get the 3-0 results fairly often, at least in this set I have been actually quite successful in the drafts now. As long as I can kind of alternate between 2-1s and 3-0s and don't get a lot of, you know, 1 or 0 win results, then it's okay for your gem balance, and that has realized for me. So I don't mind the 2-1 results because I know that I have some 3-0s which net me gems also, so I can kind of alternate between plus 1000 and minus 500 mostly. Of course, sometimes you get the more losses in the event, and then of course it's gonna give more gem losses, but at least I am satisfied at the 2-1 result in a traditional draft event. Alright, so Chupacabra Echo, first pickable card, that was the MVP. I mean, both of these were the MVPs in the games, and you do need to kind of build around a bit. I didn't have too many ways to build around, but once you can get these into -3 and more, it's a really good card, of course, for 4 mana. Right, well, it's getting pretty late, and I don't think I have anything else to mention about except that I never had this card in my hand, so I wasn't able to use that. There wasn't that much synergy. I guess it was like a Tinker's Toad, and of course the Mephitic Drought that are good synergy piece. Also the Visage of Dread and Tithing Blade, because you don't always have the possibility to craft these things. You can trade them into +1/+1 counters and all that. This is a good card, but I couldn't kind of showcase that in this event to you. Alright. Let's claim this prize, and I will see you in the next video then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.